Hello R1. Today I'm going to read a story to you. I'm going to read a story by Julia Donaldson, one of my favourite authors. And this story is called The Snail and the Whale. And the person who illustrated the pictures is Axel Scheffler. Let's start. I'm looking forward to this story. This is the tale of a tiny snail and a great big grey blue humpback whale. This is the rock as black as soot, and this is the snail with an itchy foot. The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships in the dock. And she gazed, she sniffed and sighed. The sea is deep and the world is wide. How I long to sail, said the tiny little snail. And there's the snail on the rock, looking out to sea. These are the other snails in the flock, who all stuck tight to the smooth black rock and said to the snail with the itchy foot, "Be quiet, don't wriggle, sit still, stay put." But the tiny sea snail sighed and sniffled and then cried, "I've got it, I'll hitch a lift." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail that looped and curled and said, "Lift wanted around the world." This is the whale who came one night when the tide was high and the stars were bright, a humpback whale, immensely long, who sang to the snail a wonderful song of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves. And this is the tale of the humpback whale. He held it out of the starlit sea and said to the snail, "Come, sail with me." This is the sea, so wild and free, that carried the whale and the snail on his tail to towering icebergs and far-off lands, with fiery mountains and golden sands. Oh, I would like to be there, would you? What a beautiful place. Not too sure about the volcano though. These are the waves that arched and crashed, that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. These are the caves beneath the waves, where the stripy fish and the feathery fins and sharks with hideous toothy grins swam round the whale and the snail on his tail. I would be a little bit scared. This is the sky, so vast and high, sometimes sunny and blue and warm, sometimes filled with a thunderstorm, with zigzag lightning and flashing and frightening the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. He's holding on very tight. And she gazed at the sky, the sea and the land, the waves, the caves and the golden sand. She gazed and gazed, amazed by it all. And she said to the whale, "I feel so small." But then came the day the whale lost his way. These are the speedboats running a race, zigging and zooming all over the place, upsetting the whale, and their ear-splitting roar made him swim too close to the shore. This is the tide slipping away. And this is the whale lying beached in a bay. "Quick, off the sand, back to sea," cried the snail. "I can't move on land, I'm too big," moaned the whale. The snail felt helpless and terribly small. Then, "I got it," she cried, and she started to crawl. "I must not fail," said the tiny snail. Off she goes. This is the bell on the school in the bay, ringing the children in from their play. This is the teacher holding her chalk, telling the class, "Sit straight, don't talk." This is the board as black as soot, and this is the snail with the itchy foot. "A snail, a snail!" The teacher turns pale. "Look," say the children, "it's leaving a trail." This is the trail of the tiny snail.